For this session, working with someone helped me think about this and reminded me, I guess, about this. And I explained it to the person as we go over their trades. And this was from, I don't think, a session, whether it was an impromptu meeting or review session we used to do back in the prop days. And it was brought up this. When you look back at your trades, first of all, everybody is poor at looking back at their trades, and they're even worse at identifying trades that they should have taken and they missed. I think more and more people in this community are getting better at not just looking at the trades that they take, which anybody could pull, but the trades that you're supposed to take and you didn't take. And more people in this community than any other community focus on what we missed, what we should have taken and what we missed. All right. So there's a lot of missed trades and you got to document where did I miss, what I missed. However, there's a little bit of gray area with missed trades. What I mean by that is a lot of people will look at and say, I should have taken a long or I should have taken a short. And the question is, really? Should you have? Because maybe you should have. But maybe, is it a missed trade or is it a wait for this one, a misread? Is it a mistrade or did you read it wrong? And so let's go real quick to the chalkboard. What's the chalkboard? Well, the blackboard, chalkboard. Did I misspell chalk? I think I did. Well, good thing this is in a English or spelling class. Well, it's worse knowing you spelled something wrong or thinking you spelled it wrong and you did. We'll do a session on that. All right. Mistrade, we'll label MT. Did you miss the trade or did you misread? And a lot of times you read it wrong and you think you missed the trade. And so wait a second. In order to know if it's one or the other, you got to get good at having the little checklist that you run through. It doesn't have to be, it takes you 5 minutes to go through your checklist to decide whether or not you're supposed to take the trade. You run through it quick, but you have to have the checklist. And if you have your ready and if you have your aim and you have your fire, and there was some other ancillary reason why you didn't get in, like you didn't feel like there's some emotion that kept you out, fear, confidence, didn't want to take the risk, all elements of fear, then you miss the trade. If there's something, if your checklist was checked and you didn't get in, then you miss the trade. Now, a misread is you look back at the chart, all right, and say, I really should have got long down in here because I was bullish and you didn't see something. You misread it. Or you didn't have your checklist, maybe only 2 or 3 or whatever. Or, and here's one that I think a lot of people haven't, is you weren't bullish down there. You think it's a mistrade, but you weren't bullish down there. Maybe you were bearish, maybe you were neutral. But if you weren't bullish, if you weren't looking to get long, then you didn't miss the trade. You might have missed the read, but know the difference. I misread things all the time. It's not to stay, if you're bearish in this box, to stay bearish, all the way up, to be less bearish or not bearish anymore sooner rather than later, so you don't get your face. But you're going to misread stuff all the time. Know the difference. Everybody gets this thought that they have to be able to read the beginning of every move, or they should have been long the lows and short the highs. Sometimes, but no, not always. If you have a trade that you were supposed to take and you just didn't, and here's a good way to know the difference. If at the time you have the opportunity to take a trade and you know that you're not taking it, obviously, but if you document your missed trade, and this would be one you document, well, then it's a missed trade. If it's a trade you're supposed to take, and you're not taking it real time, then it's probably a mistrade. When you know you're not taking it real time. A big weakness of everybody that's trying to get good or trying to get great, trying to stay great, will always be what am I thinking right now? Because that's when you have to get in and out right now. And you don't work on right now as much as you should. What am I thinking right now? Am I supposed to be long because ready, aim, fire happened in your progression? And I know I'm not doing it. And in real time, I know it's because I'm fearful or whatever, then it's a mistrade. But if you are down in this box, for example's sake, and you're really not bullish, you're really not supposed to be taking it. Yeah, you might have had some shorts that got in down in here and you thought of taking it. And then later you go, yeah, I missed this trade down here. Really? Did you miss the trade or did you miss the read? Because a lot of times it's the read that you missed. And like I said, you're going to misread trades or markets and charts all the time. Just kind of know the difference. And so when this topic came up the other week or last week, I jotted it down as something I wanted to bring to these Tuesday sessions, something short and simple to help people delineate and know the difference, create a difference between, you should document mistrades, but know that they're mistrades, not misreads. And if there's a misread there, then that's fine. You could dig into that, but at least are they trades you missed? Or really, they weren't really looking to take them in the first place. You might have had elements of the trade. You might have thought of getting there, but in real time, you weren't really looking to sell it. Like there was a move off the highs this morning. I wasn't looking to sell it, so I didn't miss the trade. If I was looking to sell it and I was bearish and my step 2 and 3 happened, then I missed the trade. But I missed the read, not the trade. And it's okay. Because if you're going to try to read everything perfectly, you're in the wrong business. This isn't engineering. Practicing medicine, we're practicing trading. If doctors could do it, we could do it, right? They don't always have to be right. But did you miss the diagnosis? Did you miss if we're trying to draw the analogy with doctors and trading, what did you miss? Did you miss the read and got it totally wrong? Or no, you had the right diagnosis. You just missed the medicine. So I think that this is something is only going to help people that review what you do and make it easier for yourself. Record it so that you could scroll back and forth to see what you were doing when the market was doing what it was doing. And then say, I missed this trade. Why? Were you bullish? Was it in your support location? Did you have something in step 3? And if you said yes, I'd say, okay, you missed it. But if you said I missed this trade and it was because you were bearish, you should have been bullish. Well, you didn't miss the trade. You missed the read. Anybody got any questions about that? Does that make sense? Did you miss the trade or did you miss the read? A lot of times people think they missed the trade and they didn't. But there are times you miss the trade and you got to know it. I'm telling you, the most important thing you got to review is how many opportunities do you miss that forces you to possibly do something stupid next. Or if you would have just taken half the damn trades you missed, you'd be up for the month. But missed trades are trades you missed while you're missing them. Like if I don't take this trade, I'm going to have to document it as a missed trade. Now, if you don't document missed trades, then you're not going to give yourself the opportunity to say that. That was correct. That's how you spell chalkboard. Okay. See? I won't get credit for spelling it right because I thought I didn't. If you're not looking at moments that you missed trade and not reviewing it, then you're not going to be able to put yourself in a position to ask that question. How many trades did I miss today? If I would have taken 2 of the 4 trades I missed, how different does my day look? Even if you took the other trades, like even if you took the trades that you might have forced after missing a winning trade, even if let's say you took those, how different does your day look? But most people don't dig into what they miss. Why? Because it's another dimension of work. To look at the trades you take, well, though you took them, there's stats on them. They're sitting right there. You could see them. They're waving at you. But missed trades are invisible unless you put something to mark them, right? Unless you mark your missed trades, there's nothing going to tell you missed them. Sometimes your mind's going to work against you and try to make you forget the trade you missed. So your mind wants to make you feel good. That's exactly right. So someone says when they look at the charts after the close, they often see trades I would have wanted to take, but it was only the resulting move that changed the bias. At the time the trade was initiated, it was not your bias. That's where people get kind of twisted up, is they're looking at a chart with the bias of what already happened. Again, that's where hindsight's 2020, but even deeper than that, subconsciously, if you know it rallied, you're going to find things that would have told you to buy it. And then you're going to say, I missed the trade. So it's like, well, that's because your mind was telling you only to look for things that would have got you long, but because you knew the market was going to rally. Okay. So that's why, what are you thinking at the time? Is it a misread? Okay. Is it a mistrade? Okay. At least know one or the other. Because if you read it wrong, it's not bad. I'm telling you, you're not supposed to read it correctly all the time. But if you're missing trades you're supposed to take, now that's something that if you looked back and you truly had 10 missed trades a week or 20 missed trades a month, and if you took half of them, how different would your month look? And I'm not just assuming that all 20 are winners, but I bet you most were. Most people miss winning trades. Fear talks you out of the winners. That's been my experience. Most people's missed trades would have been winners. And then how many trades should you have missed, but you took because you had enough? You just got emotionally pushed into the trade. Could have been because you missed the previous trade. It would have been a winner. It could have been just because you're anxious. It could be because you're chasing the money. Whatever. How many trades do you take that you should not? How many trades do you not take that you should have? Nobody wants to go there, but that's where a lot of the fruits of your labor will lie. Not a lot of people want to go there. They'd rather just give me an indicator, tell me when to buy or sell it. You'd still screw it up. If even the puke tool and the OPP was even better than it is now, and it's great now, and it was 99% probable, people would screw it up unless you knew how to read the market and how to use it. So I wanted to keep this session short and just get people to start focusing more and more on their missed trades. You're not gonna find your missed trades unless you're doing it in real time, though. Not just this whole mistrade versus misread, but you're not doing proper review unless you could document when you should have taken a trade and you didn't. And then obviously knowing it was a true mistrade and not a misread. But I should have been long here and I didn't. Why should you have been long here? And then you could walk someone through that. And why didn't you take it? And you could have a reason. It'd be because I didn't want to, I was down money, or it was the first trade or something. It'd be some variation of fear. Whatever the emotion was, we'd be able to draw it back to fear. You'd be direct or indirect, but you'd be able to draw it back to, being a little risk adverse. So you got to play the hand. You got to play your hand. All right. You got to play your hand. So keep an eye on your missed trades and then dig into, how much it's costing you. And I guarantee if you took the trade you're supposed to take, you would stop taking trades you shouldn't take. And everybody takes trades they shouldn't take, whether you want to admit it or not. Those are the ones you could focus on also, because those are the ones that are documented. Don't, no, the trades you're not supposed to take. I'm not saying people do it every day, but I guarantee people do and have trades hanging on them that they should not have taken. And they knew they shouldn't have taken it in real time. Now, some people would say, I shouldn't have taken this trade, but at the time they were supposed to. Well, then that's a misread. But if at the time you were not supposed to take the trade and you knew you were just pressing it based on something that told you to take it, that's costing you money. And if it's not costing you money, it's not making you much. There's no such thing as a successful strategy on trades I was never supposed to take. I only take trades I'm not supposed to take, and I make a bunch of money. You think anybody has that as their strategy? What's your strategy? I only take trades I'm not supposed to take, and I make money. It's not the opposite of what you think, just trades I'm not supposed to take. I'm bullish. I don't take a short trade, but I'm bullish, but I'm not supposed to get long. I don't have a qualifier, but I'm taking anyways. That's not a strategy most people would say they have with success attached to it. So just pay attention to what it's cost. And if it doesn't cost you hard capital at times, it costs you emotional capital, because you're still swinging the axe. You're still swinging the axe. And if you're swinging the axe and you're not chopping any wood, that means you took a trade, didn't cost you any money, but you're still swinging the axe and costing yourself effort. So, damn it, know the trades you're not supposed to take and get better at not taking them. Know the trades you're supposed to take and take them. And know the difference between a misread on either side. Know the difference between a mistrade and a misread. And most people in this business don't document their mistrades ever. They get mad about them. They'll talk about them, but they don't document them. They don't review them, and they don't get into real reason why they're missing them. So hopefully this session helps you guys. Keep your eye on the ball, and it only helps those guys that will review what you do with some sort of recording, so you get a good sense of what you're feeling in real time. See you guys in the room and or on Discord.